Alright, I keep getting slapped with a copyright, so I don't know like the specifics of it. I'm not sure if that limits like how many people in the world get to see my content or whatever. So I'm gonna stop playing music in the background just so because it's kind of a nuisance or an annoyance whenever I get the copyright notification. Seems like every time you put music in one of your videos, it YouTube asks you, or rather, YouTube asks whoever made the music, is it okay for your video to be posted? Which to me, that's a no-go. All right, so I got to move forward. In my last videos, I was covering a specific scene, which was a custom-made scene that I just showcasing like my ability to draw Kentaro Miura or Berserk content on my own, just to basically give a little faith to everyone that it's in the right hands. Moving forward from here, I have to complete this scene, which is this is literally the very last panel that Dr. Kintaro created before he died of heart surgery. And yeah, so in this scene, I just simply have to do some animations for his mouth. I have to make him talk because there's a line that excuse me, there's a line that Griffith was quoting in Berserk where he's basically talking about a single tear and something about morning dew, some philosophical thing I wasn't really tracking too closely. But I just know in this scene, Griffith has to have lip syncing. So I'm going to basically do all of the base frames, just for common speaking. And I guess a plus side to it is Griffith isn't really an emoting type of human being. He's kind of well, he is a psychopath. So he has no micro expressions or anything like that. Specifically when he's after he became femto in the well, in everything, in the issues and the animations. So it makes it slightly easier for me specifically, given I can just solely focus on getting the lip movement in here. So enough sidebar. I tried my best to perfectly mimic, as you can see here, the frame. Of course, it's slightly in my style. I know I have a style of drawing. My best friend pointed it out to me. But I hopefully you agree that I kind of did it justice and I got it pretty close to the you know Dr. Miura's last panel. So yeah, let's just start here. So first thing I'm gonna need to do is I'm gonna base the lip syncing off of this single frame here. So I'm going to simply shift all of my other frames down. Give it, yeah, just give it a little bit of space. Because what I'm doing is called keyframes, but I'm doing keyframes for the lip movement. And of course, when you talk, there's other parts of the face that have to shift to. Muscle wise, you're when you speak, you actually affect other parts of your face too, which I'll give an example of here. Three, I'll do okay. Three, turn the ink layer off. I don't need that. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I gotta keep that in mind. 60 is the base, so that means 61 is gonna be my start. And I'm not gonna separate the layers here either. I only do layer separation when I'm doing like a completely new scene from scratch, because I have to do an ink layer, and then the layer under the ink layer is the color layer, and then sometimes I'll have a third layer up top, which is, think of it as like a foreground layer that I use for like lighting and stuff, and temporary fixes or whatever. So when speaking, there's just certain, there's certain ways your lips look when doing simple during simple conversation. For this, I'm just gonna make him kind of like pout his lips out a little bit. This is for when you're saying words with the ooh sound, like to and through, and things like that. So this is just jutting. I'm jutting his lips out ever so slightly. And this is gonna be his first um expression or a keyframe for speaking. Okay, I think that's awesome. Again, I won't be playing music anymore. Given the copyright thing, just it freaks me out, man. It just freaks me out. I don't understand it. Do you have no? You were given permission by such and such to play your own videos. Like, dude, are you? You know, it's work out putting these videos. It's like, man, are you crazy? Okay, so here's the first alteration I'll make here, which is the lip, his lip pucker. Okay, we're gonna have to reduce this. What's going on here too with the black to make it resemble his him actually puckering his lips. Much better. Of course, you wouldn't see any of the cross hatching in here if his lips were tightened. Awesome. Let's get the corner of the mouth here. This would actually reduce as you smile. Your smiling specifically is very. Gotta sneeze. Ah, Smiling specifically is very distinct on the face because when you smile, it overall affects your cheekbones. You have a lot of muscles in your face interacting, including the your lower eyelid too. But when you smile specifically, there's a distinct crease that happens right here in a protrusion of the cheekbone. But you can use that information to understand that there's an invert or the opposite. And the opposite would be the more you push your lips forward, the more your muscles actually relax or tighten on the sides of your face. So whenever I edit any part of the face, really, I always try to be aware of the effects that it would have on other parts because that's key in animation. You can't just simply well, you can, but you're gonna have a janky animation. But you can't just simply animate one single small part of anything really without understanding the effects that it has on everything around it. Heck, in my last video, I was doing a scene of Guts, and in that video, Guts was basically he was just standing. The wind was blowing because his cloak, he had a cloak flapping, right? But Gut has many things dangling from like he has a wrist wrap. He even has a wrap around his weapon. He has hair. There's many things that should be blowing in the wind too. But you can also factor in the angle or the direction of the wind too to kind of help you out with making that decision as if you as in what you wanna animate. So this is my first frame. Just a simple lip pucker. You can do a lip pucker without any movement of your jaw. So it's I think this is successful. I'm gonna go back one just to show the difference here. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's trim that. I like the nose edit, but it's looking a little jarring there. There we go. Let's try it again. Yeah, I love it. All right, so that's one keyframe for conversation, and this is again is for really like tooting, like blowing sounds, like who, to, through, even you. just for when you know any type of point of conversation where you would use those sounds, really like O's and U's. This is what your lips would typically look like. I'm gonna move on to another frame here. For this one, it's going to be, I'm going to do it at the vowel sound, not even vowel, the E sound. For the E sound, he needs a slight smile here, for lack of a better term. The E sound is kind of tricky because for the E sound, you can move the jaw. I could shift his jaw down slightly. Um, but yeah, I'll think about that in a second here. Let me focus. Very ever so slight changing his lips. But I know one part of his lips I have to edit here is, of course, the pink of his lips. Although this is really gonna give away the change in his expression here. I thought about doing this in 4K, but then I thought to myself, what's the point? Why would I do it in 4K? I don't really have a use for that. I understand technology changes, resolution is very important because high resolution just looks good. But in this case, it's not necessary. I was considering that though. It's like, man, I could do a 4K. I could finish the Berserk manga. I can animate it, and I could do it in 4K, dude. I'd be the GOAT. But then I really thought about it, and I was like, man, 4K is really unnecessary. If someone wanted to like see my animation in 4K, they could just use an AI upscaler and just like 4K it themselves. It's a good thing about technology. You can pretty much 4K anything now with a proper upscaler. I'm gonna plump fluff his lips out just slightly because it's there's really it's hard to tell, but there's really a squash and stretch going on too when a person smiles with their lips specifically, which is just an animation term that's used for when animating things that aren't solid, and lips are made of flesh, i.e. lips are not solid. Okay, it's a little bit lighty, but it's all good. I'm definitely gonna move the sheen or the shine. I'm gonna have to stretch it, just shift it over to the right, which is the white. I'm gonna shift the white over to indicate that his lips are stretching, just ever so slightly. For this, just follow the original pattern, and then add a little more. Heck, man, I could probably do that actually. Yeah, I like that. A little heavy on the white, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's bring this black around. Since he's got more of a smile like expression to his face, it's going to it's actually going to have a diverse effect on his other features, or rather a varied effect on other features on his face. One thing, for instance, is the bottom of his nostril is going to shift up. His nose, only because his lips are stretching back this way and slightly stretching out this way. It's going to the fold of skin above the lip, giving it the change of it, is actually going to alter a little bit there, among other things that I'm about to tweak here. So for this is tough. Okay, the E sound doesn't have much effect on the eyes. I'm gonna do this. Let's see. Let's see if I can get away with a very rudimentary shift here. I'm gonna do a quick scale. Just that. And then bump this bad boy down to 1. Oh, wrong color. Shoot. Do black. Like that. Actually, I like the break. Not sure why. I like the break right here though. Like that. Yeah, that's way superior. Alright, I like that. And over here, I want to try to do the same thing. It's cutting it close here. Let's yeah, I'm gonna have to really get in there. Just a quick shift. Boom. That looks fine. Make sure I fill back in the colors I just lost with the shift. Alright. Speed up a little bit here. Yeah, because with the E sound, there's actually a slight smile that occurs in the eyes or whatever. So, and I could, if I wanted to, just do that, just to indicate the cheeks puffing out a little bit. Okay, so there's another frame there. Beautiful. Show the difference between the main frame there. I love it. Heck, if I wanted to, which I do, I could extend it more so that it stands out ever so slightly more. Just to exaggerate it, so that you know his expression is changing. Beautiful. No homo. Not talking about, not Griffith. I just exaggerate it slightly more. Okay. Heck, man, it almost looks like almost looking like a smile. I love it though. Okay, so we did ooh, we did E. Let's try something new here. Let's do. Actually, let me duplicate this first because I'm gonna need to edit another frame. So we did ooh, E. Let's do I. So for I, this is gonna take this. I'm just taking the mitts off, be a little artsy here. I'm just gonna have to draw it in completely. I is just him completely opening his mouth. I is gonna actually incorporate teeth into it and everything. So I'm just gonna have to draw this out. And eye is more smile-like too in shape, so it'd be more like this. Yeah, it'd be like this.
See, also think about most artists. There's a method to their madness. They most artists can see what they're doing even before they complete it because it's going on in the artist's head. That's always been a thing that separates an artist from a bystander or a person viewing any project in production phase. You'll never know what the final product looks like because you can't read minds. No one can read minds outside of an artist maybe. And that's only if the artist is being told. If an artist is being given, the mental picture of what the whatever individual wants created. That's a simple shift up of his lip here. Okay. Now be careful. I don't want him to have like some giant Kim Kardashian Botox lips by mistake. I admit Griffith is beachy, or he looks very feminine. Well, he is a feminine man, but he's not like he's not feminine to the point of like being gay. There's actually a scene in the manga where he takes down a princess, which I was pretty proud of it. It's like, oh, my man Griffith. But in that same breath, there is a scene where he was giving his body to some king, some noble dude to fund his army too. So I don't know. Griffith might be one of those people with their own ideology. Might be part of that cultural fad, guys. That's right. Even you guys have representation. Okay, so let's do the white here. Okay. That looks fine. A little too much white there. Actually, let's make sense of this too. That makes no sense to me. Oops. I gotta remember to work on my MVC. I was doing like an MVC2 project where I was like a madman. I filled out the globe for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 with characters. It's insane. It's like, whoa, so many characters. Then I made a secret area that you can go over into outside of the main roster, which was nutty too. And then I went back and I put physics on all of everybody, all the females, the extremely bulky males, all of the characters have physics applied to them. It is probably, not even probably, it is hands down the most complex and the best MVC2 ever made. I just completely made it into a new game. I've always hated that about MVC2. Also, it's the way they implemented physics. Some characters had bouncing boobs and they had hair physics, and other characters did not, and it always bothered me. Just like the inconsistency in the art. Even when I was little, I always found it weird. Because needless to say, even when I was little, when I was a toddler, I was still drawing. When I was a wee one, the first thing I ever drew, I don't know the proper term. Yeah, the first thing I ever drew for something, like for instance, it was for I think it was elementary school, but it was like for I had to turn in a drawing for elementary school. I drew the cover of this game called Ghouls and Goblins at 4, and I drew it. I mimicked it perfectly, and that doesn't sound like much, but for a little 4-year-old, that's insane, dude. It's freaking insane. So yeah, when I was a toddler, even when I was a toddler, I was very advanced. I was confused too. I felt alienated when I was little too. So I was like, oh, like what's wrong? I thought something was wrong with me. But I was like, why is everybody, when the average kid draws a person, they'll draw like a stick figure. They'll draw like a circle with some eyes on it, maybe some hair. They might even have the cognitive ability to put a dress on it. But when I was little, dude, I was on another plateau, dude. I was counting eyelashes when I was, I knew it like a pupil and the sclera and the iris, and I knew parts when I was little. It was very unnerving. I think even then I realized that I was a very special child, very advanced. My mind simply just didn't work the way a child's mind should have. I couldn't recommend getting a child into art more because it puts the brain on a different plateau, makes them more creative. I think it makes them better people. That's just me though. Most beautiful people I know are artists. Some of the greatest human beings I've ever encountered are artists. Everything about an artist is just simply amazing. I have great pride in doing art. It's up there with playing sports. People who play sports, that's a talent. It's a skill, right? Sure, it's a skill anyone can do. It's I don't think it's really a personality related thing either. Playing sports, because I'm a bit of a sports nerd too. My favorite, hands down, my all time favorite sport, which is gonna be kind of jarring to hear, is boxing. I love boxing to my core. My coworkers, and I've got some hard, like some tough coworkers, but they all said the same hands that create such beautiful art can dismantle a human being's space. That's pretty hilarious. Forgive all the noise in the background. I like to leave my window open, and there's always noise in the hall. The people here aren't very respectful, you know, of the inhabitants staying around them. So it's in a big deal. It's my rule of thumb in life. Only thing you can control in life is yourself. Someone is boorish or unpleasant, you don't have to communicate with them. You don't have to have any attachment with them. Things like being forced to communicate with or attach to people is just something really restricted for work. When you have to go to work, like a work environment. Like I've met throughout my career some of the worst human beings imaginable. Like the worst people life has to offer. Just people you just know you just shouldn't be talking to just because they're so horrid. And what sound was this? This is I, right? I think there's teeth. There's teeth in I. Yeah, but while working, I've encountered some pretty horrible people. That's all I'm saying. And unfortunately, in a work world, you have to you have to let these people, communicate with you and stuff, which sucks. But it's the name of the game. Cause life is people, and unfortunately, some people suck. Just got to deal with them. It's not like they're attached to you at the hip. You just, depending on your situation, you're gonna have to see that same person you dislike on a daily basis, and that's part of being an adult. You have to develop social skills. You have to learn how to be around other people. And if you don't know how to be around other people, those people might destroy your career. There's definitely teeth here. And this is the I sound. I think the I sound is, I think I can use this too. Yeah, I think I can use this too for the I sound. This could be the second frame, you know? I can, you know what I'm saying? I can integrate this into the lip sync to make this the final frame for the I sound. Yeah. Yeah, I know I'm just ranting. That's my tangent, man. Like, you meet horrible people in life, man. That's just part of life, you know? Gotta roll with the punches. Depending on the type of person you are, you might have a different philosophy on it. But to me, that's life. Life sucks. Life is great. Life sucks, and then you die. And then the best you can do is just, you know, work with what you have. My best friend has a philosophy that he gave me years ago on how he views life. He says you just gotta live it, and then when you get to the end of it, you're gonna look back and you're just gonna laugh. So basically, life is one big adventure for him, which is hilarious. And it's not wrong. That's the thing. People's philosophies are not wrong. The way you view life is exactly that. See the jaw movement? Beautiful. So I need another sound here. So normal lips. Ooh, E, I. What am I missing here? This could be O, even though O would look slightly different from this, to be honest. Because O would there would be jaw movement for this. I got an idea though. Let's duplicate this. I'm gonna remove this. Uh, mm, mm. I'm gonna do a duplicate of this, and I'm gonna tweak this one. But here's the kicker. I said there's jaw movement, right? So maybe, just maybe, I can take this. Let me shift my I have to shift my keyboard. I have to use my some pasting skills here. I'm gonna do a quick Control C, and then a Control. Oops, I don't know what I just hit there. Then a Control V. Okay, let's get the back of this jaw here. Control C, and then a quick Control V. And that'll give me the jaw movement I need. In regards to the lips, let's do this. I'm gonna do a, I kind of want to shift it down. Let's see if I can just shift it down. Just a quick shift down like that. I might actually bump the lips back in too. Cause ooh is more pouting, but O is more just the mouth is, yeah, it's open. So what I'm gonna do here is take the pout off. Kind of reduce the distance that his lips go out. Also, this will reduce too. Then I'm going to just simply do the outline. O and oo are very similar. Trust me, they're super similar to each other. With that one key difference, the protrusion of the lips during oo is far much more. I don't even think. Oops, why did I do the eraser? I don't even think there's much crease above the lip here for the O. I think it's less, like that. As for this, it'll be less brown, of course. More open, like that. And I even think it goes down. I think the sides of the mouth goes downward instead of upward. Just the way skin works, you know. I think it'd be more like this though. I think he's got too much pink on the lips too. Let's reduce this. Like so. I try not to go outside of the ink, the black inking, specifically for his lips and stuff. Just as a rule of thumb, because it's supposed to. This is supposed to be the end of his mouth or whatever. Yeah, like that. Yeah, it looks fine. Let's just get the end. Oops. I just realized what I did wrong, man. I'm actually trying to reduce. Okay. That looks fine. It don't look fine. It looks stellar, actually. And this is what is this? O? Yeah, this is the O sound. I don't think there would be this much crease. I think this will reduce too for the sound. Yeah. If I really want to be fancy here, bring it downward to indicate like the droop. There's a slight droop on the lips when you make that sound. Let's see. Okay. Oh, nice. Beautiful. Alright, oh my god, it's been almost 40 minutes. I know I go so slow. Alright, I have to end the video here. I try to keep the videos under 30 minutes. I don't know what's wrong with me right now. But yeah. I'm gonna complete Kentaro Miura's Berserk manga. If you don't know Kentaro Miura, he's a manga artist who died at the age of 50 after 30 plus years of drawing for his book, and he never completed his vision. A studio took over. They did a terrible job taking over. They completely just like made his masculine character feminine and tweaked his story in ways that were awful. And I'm gonna complete it myself. That's pretty much it. God bless.